morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to NYSA Presents, where you see what you've been missing in 3D. And welcome to New York. I'm your host, Johnny Laser. And happy Laser Day. It's the birthday of Ivan Dreyer, the creator of a laserium planetarium shows, who is recognized as the father of the laser light show. And while we're on lasers, got this article from biophotonics. You know, I find I read things that I have no understanding of, and 2 weeks later, I need to know them. So this is the story of my life. But I'm subscribed to biophotonics. Very interesting. Super resolution. This month's super resolution microscope. And that's the thing. I can't actually say these things, but I can read them. Oh, I can't read them, but I can say tracks RNA. But here's the point. So the article in the back is a laser focus on peacock feathers. And it turns out, without getting too deep into the article, that the unique eye spot, the dramatic circle in the middle of the feather, became the star of the experiment. It was repeatedly wet with rhodamine 6G dye solution, dried, then pumped with 532 nanometer light at high intensity. The result, laser emission was detected from the yellow and brown regions of the eye spot, both emitting wavelengths of 583 nanometers. Thus, beautiful peacock feathers don't just shimmer, they laze naturally. Now, the laser was invented in 1960, May 16th, 1960, by can't think of the guy's name right now. Mayman. His last name was Mayman. And using photo flashes and a very exquisite little ruby tube. Actually, ruby was the first material that they managed to laze. Of course, if you look at the PR, it'll show up as Bell Labs, but Bell Labs was second. And they had a much bigger PR department than Hughes. And those guys, those folks, by the way, who did it, if you take a look, it's great. They're like duct tape a bunch of the newly invented electric photo flash alongside a very exquisite little piece of ruby, and got that little red glow, which proved it could be done. But Einstein thought that it was 1915 that Einstein theorized that. By 1960, we'd figured it out, and it was, of course, called the solution without a problem. That was how it was coined at that point. And boy, did it find a lot of problems to solve. And maybe create, because we're going to be starting to use directed energy weapons. That's next. But I got another magazine for those, but you don't want to hear about that. Anyway, yeah, wonderful thing. I don't know how many of you know what laserium was. New Yorkers will, because they had a laser show at the Museum of History, that one. They had a great planetarium in there. And that's the place you would go on a weekend, on a Friday night. It's like a 1 hour show on that planetarium ceiling. They take music and do all kinds of stuff. Museum of Natural History, by the way. So anyway, of course, thanks to Stereodoro and Jay Kuznets, you can also watch parts of the show in various 3D formats, but not live this week because we're a little shorthanded. So you can access that later on in the URL in the chat. A couple of messages. There's an OWL 3D Kickstarter, ends in March, on March 24th. And if you haven't received your lifetime OWL software membership, sign back into the Kickstarter and fill out the form on updates. Updates number 4. And there's a universal 3D viewer on Chrome. I think you may have been made aware of that, or you know it, or during the pre-show. Check the chat. There's a tutorial on our website. If you go to the website, then resource software, category resource software, or it may end up showing it in the chat. Well, now that I got that off my chest, that's a nice picture, right? Laser focus. Amazing world, isn't it? So now it's time for the ANAGLYPH jukebox. Roll it.
3 Barbie dolls are sold every second. Over 1 billion Barbie dolls have been sold in over 150 countries, but few who play with her know her origin. In 1945, Ruth and Elliot Handler co-founded Mattel Creations along with industrial engineer Harold Matson. They had successful toy launches for a cap gun called the Burp Gun and a child-sized ukulele called the Yukadoodle. Ruth Handler had an idea for an anatomically correct adult female doll for children. No one would even consider it. They're all horrified by the thought of wanting to make a doll with breasts, said Handler. In 1959, at the American International Toy Fair in New York City, named after their daughter Barbara, the Barbie doll debuted. 300,000 dolls were sold in the first year. It was a hit, soon to become a classic toy for many generations. 2 years later, named after the handler's son, Ken, her boyfriend was released. Take it away. In 1952, a German newspaper, the Bild Zeitung, Bild newspaper, debuted a one-panel cartoon featuring Lily, created by Reinhold Buten. She was a risque character, a gold digger, an exhibitionist, and a floozy. 3 years later, Lily, now called Bild Lily, was made into an 11-inch tall plastic doll, a gag gift, the kind men like. Lily had a disproportionately large bust, blue eyeshadow, and a blonde ponytail. It was borderline pornographic. German men would use this doll to decorate their cars, even taking the toy to bars and pulling off her clothes, to the general merriment of the inebriants present. Lily was manufactured from 1955 to 1964. In 1945, Ruth and Elliot Handler co-founded Mattel Creations, along with industrial engineer Harold Matson. They had successful toy launches for a cap gun called the Burp Gun and a child-sized ukulele called the Yukadoodle. Ruth Handler had an idea for an anatomically correct adult female doll for children. No one would even consider it. They were all horrified by the thought of wanting to make a doll with breasts, said Handler. In 1956, on a vacation to Switzerland, the Handlers came across a Bild Lily doll, and she was convinced she had found her prototype. They changed the doll, upgrading her plastic and reworking her lips and eyebrows. They also changed her personality. Gone was the exhibitionist gold digger. She was replaced by a fashion-crazed girl-next-door type. In 1959, at the American International Toy Fair in New York City, named after their daughter Barbara, the Barbie doll debuted. 300,000 dolls were sold in the first year. It was a hit, soon to become a classic toy for many generations. 2 years later, named after the handler's son, Ken, her boyfriend was released. By 1966, Mattel controlled 12% of the $2 billion toy market in the United States. 3 Barbie dolls are sold every second. Over 1 billion Barbie dolls have been sold in over 150 countries, but few who play with her know her origin. This is the first Barbie TV commercial that aired during the Mickey Mouse Club in 1959.
Barbie, you're beautiful. You make me feel my Barbie doll is really real. Barbie's small and so petite. Her clothes and figure look so neat. Her dancing outfit rings the bell. At parties she will cast a spell. Purses, hats, and gloves galore. And all the gadgets gals adore.
Barbie dressed for swimmin' fun is only $3. Her lovely fashions range from $1 to $5. Look for Barbie wherever dolls are sold.
Someday I'm gonna be exactly like you. Till then I know just what I'll do. Barbie, beautiful Barbie, I'll make believe that I am you.
You can tell it's Mattel. It's swell.
Have you heard what's happened? Barbie's changed. Barbie's new and different. She's the very same size, but now she comes with a groovy outdoor look. And Barbie's lashes are really for real. And even her face has changed. Best of all, the biggest news of all is the way Barbie moves. The new Barbie twists. The new Barbie turns. Wouldn't you like the new Barbie?
But what do I do with my old Barbie?
What do? Here's what you do. Just take your old Barbie before it's too late and run to the toy store. Then trade it to the man with $1.50 less than half what you normally pay. And look what you get. New Barbie for less than half price. But better hurry up. First come, first serve. There's a limited supply at this special low price, so take your old Barbie and $1.50 and trade them for the Barbie who's new.
Trade in your old Barbie today, while you can still get the new Barbie for less than half price.
Oh, that was wonderful. That was great. Thank you, Joe. That was a nice toy that made little girls happy. I would love to interview. I guess what it's about is it like they just said, I'll be you. You know, I had a wonderful little dream to have, and how innocent and simple, and how it started a little less innocent, but does it really matter? You know, all the joy girls had out of that, and of course boys, right? But I must admit, Johnny Laser had a doll. Wasn't a Barbie. It was a 007. By then, a 007 doll, and I also had one from Man from U.N.C.L.E., Napoleon Solo.
Not a doll, John. Action figures.
Thank you for the correction. Obviously, it was an action figure. It was such an action figure. What you did was you loaded these little mini caps into a little gun he had in his right hand, and when you pull the arm all the way back, it would. Oh, thank you, fellas. They took the Barbie thing and went in the opposite direction. The action figure, indeed. But for me, I'm a Barbie lover, man. That's fantastic. I enjoy that. Thank you, Joe, for taking us down that road again. Wonderful. Now we have some images and a tutorial. You know, Herb does this wonderful work. Herb Weiner does this wonderful work with AI, the generative AI, and he's so generous. How hard is this? You know, he puts the prompts in. He lets you know what the prompt is. Shows you the image. It shows the ones that didn't work out. I'm telling you, it is I don't know anyone else who's done a tutorial like that, because you really get a chance to see how it works. You'll figure it out if you bang your head against it. But by reading what Herb does and listening to his tutorials, first of all, you get beautiful pictures he's giving you, right, of cats. How calm could you be with those? And the second thing is you're learning how those prompts work, and it's fascinating. And this is the conversation we had, and we could roll that one. What made you think of Cats in the City?
Well, actually, the inspiration struck me because most of the cats that I had were not in a city setting. They were, in a more rural or, suburban setting. And I thought, okay, what about cats in the city? We were actually talking about sending images to you, and I was thinking, okay, the show is New York Stereoscopic Association. What should I send? So I said, how about Cats in the City?
Cool, so Cats in the City. Now, did you give the instruction for depth of field?
No, I didn't. So the prompt that I used was very simple. Color photograph of cats in the city. That's all I said. And this is what it came out with. And I actually got 2 good images from this prompt. So both this image and the next image we're going to look at both came from the same prompt.
Okay, so how did you put anything in the prompt about the eyes?
I didn't put no. Basically, everything about the image that it generated was just Midjourney's creativity. It can be pretty creative. So the full text of the prompt I give all my prompts is, at the end of the prompt, I say --AR16:9, because I want it to be formatted 16:9 aspect ratio. But other than putting the aspect ratio, the full prompt was color photograph of cats in the city.
And you didn't mention what city. You just said the city.
Just in the city. And I don't even know what city this is. Now we're looking at the next cat, and this I made the prompt a little bit more intricate, and I was thinking of Loving Spoonful. So I said, color photograph of cool cat, summer in the city, looking for a kitty. And I think this is a cool cat.
Oh, it's as cool a cat as you can get, man. I want to get a set of those glasses. Like this
And
guy's trying to
so,
sit.
and so out of this prompt, I got 3 good images.
Now, do you ever say female cat, male cat, any of that?
Occasionally I do, but I didn't for this prompt. So in the book, every cat below the image is the exact prompt that I used. And so the first 2 cats are already in the book. These last 3 cats are not yet in the book. They'll be in the next edition whenever that comes out.
Now, this one seems to have like a lens flare or something like that. Was that intentional?
No, as I said, the full text of the prompt was what I gave you, so everything else is just what Midjourney did. And the interesting thing is Midjourney, when you give it a prompt, you're going to get 4 images. Sometimes one of them is great and 3 of them are duds. Sometimes more than one of them are good. And so this was a case where I actually got the first 2 images are very different from this one because the first 2 images, the cats are wearing glasses. This one, he's not. But just
What really, and I brought this up before in previous sessions we've had. What gets me is the reflection in the eyes, because that really makes it organic. You know what I mean?
So I can tell you why that happens. Basically, Midjourney is trained on photographs of cats. And so if all the image that's trained on, or more than half of the images that it's trained on have, reflections in the eyes, that's what it's going to generate when you ask for an image. It would probably be difficult to get rid of the reflection in the eyes.
The mood of the cat, does that ever come through differently than what you expect? Because these cats seem kind and nice and they're chilling and they're doing stuff. Do you ever put a prompt in and have a cat in a more agitated state? That's what I've.
Yeah, I mean, I do, and often so the solution is when you get something that's not what you want, you revise the prompt. And so I talk about that a lot in the introduction. There are a few images where even though the image wasn't what I asked for, I put it in the book just because it was educational.
Well, thanks, Herb. I trust you're having fun. We'll see him next week. He'll be back. He'll be back at the Switch. But was it very interesting? So it is fascinating. I have been working with, because I playing music, writing music, and it's fascinating how the prompts work. And I analyze how other people do it, and I realize that there's some connection between the creativity. If you're on a piano, right, or you're playing a piano and you're writing something, you just have top of your head. You think of it as a prompt in a way, right? They had, and then all of a sudden, part of that gives you something you want, and you go further and further with the prompt. To me, that's a parallel, a creative parallel with this, and it's a good thing and a bad thing sometimes, or it could appear it's neither good or bad. It's just complicated. Let's put it that way. When you're trying to do things, when you were trying to use it, because you don't know where you started and where when I'm in front of a piano, the piano's not, it's not like it's telling me anything. Well, it is in a way, the melody, right? You hear it and it's kind of having a conversation with you. But with when you're doing a graphic thing, a visual thing like that, the way that the your thinking and your creativity and the prompt responds, sometimes you feel like, hey, this thing is no more than me. Like, where did I lose? Is this still me? Did I lose what I was trying to accomplish? And Hal took over, and it was telling me, we need to speak, Dave. I don't, but anyway, fantastic. And if you don't have that PDF, and he constantly makes it applies more and more pages to it. So it's really it's a heck of a gift he's given creative people. That's all I can tell you. If you're missing that, I mean, you can always bang your head against the wall. Nobody's saying you can't, and I'm good for that myself. But if you want a little bit of a boost, try this. A couple of pages, you'll get it. And plus, it's so wonderful. It'll calm you down. You're having a bad day. Look at cats, man. I mean, that's the. Okay, so now we head on to some images from Mr. Robert Bloomberg. And see, he takes the cue. Robert, if you're out there, I want to thank you. Matter of fact, it's nice seeing all you folks, by the way. I never get a chance to say thank you. I see you, showing up, and I see you in the gallery, and I don't individually say hello and thank you, but thank you for showing up. It makes a big difference to all of us because we're doing this for something. And by the way, we got some big news coming. Big news coming. In a couple of weeks. I think it's huge. Now that I got you thinking. I say by the middle of April we'll be able to announce this, and it's ground shattering. Let's put it that way. But let's continue while we have ground that's under us. It's not shattered. Robert, you could chime in if you'd like, but I have the notes that you put, so I can begin that share. Stand by. Oh, maybe you can't.
Yep, whatever.
Oh, there you go. Okay, you were able to unmute. How are you doing today, man?
Okay, how about you?
Good. Hold on a second. I'm going to, that's good. Oh, so
Not
great.
sure what you have here.
Yes. Thank you for taking, appreciate it very much that you're constantly sending us content anytime, man.
Yeah, this is a self-portrait with my twin Sonys.
And now that's a Photoshop thing, right?
Yeah.
Now I have such faith in you, man, because I thought you would be just the guy to strap this on your head. Okay.
I would do it, but
I know, no, I wasn't joking, man. That's why I had to ask, because it could have very well been possible. So nice hat, but you got it on backwards anyway.
Yeah. And this is Susan Pinsky's cat, Phoebe. I photographed several years ago. This is her film noir debut. I think it was Farewell, My Lovely or something. But I just love the shadows, and
yeah,
it did remind me of film noir.
Yes. You know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. Once you said that, I concur. I concur, Robert. Great. Wait 1 second. Yeah, I pressed there we go.
Not sure. Yeah, this is one of my animation heroes, Ray Harryhausen, made a special appearance and a presentation at our local Raffel Theater. I photographed the marquee and added several of his famous creations.
Beautifully creative, Robert, man. That is just so wonderful.
I think this is an earlier version. I have one version where the dinosaurs much larger, and the
now how are you getting those dinosaurs? Because they're really cut out nicely. Where are you finding? Where'd you find that material?
That I have some old books of his that I could scan some of his creations, and then I just put them into Photoshop in layers. And often I had to cut and paste to move things forward. This is an earlier version. I actually have one where it's a little more 3D. Lately, I've been using Depth Maker, Masuji Suta's wonderful program. This was not using Depth Maker, but
and now the people who are fixing the marquee, are they added, or is that
that's what they were doing. So that's an actual 3D photo.
Don't let it go to your head, but that's brilliant. Because really, that is brilliant.
Well, I grew up with him, and his wonderful films are amazing.
Well, you did him well for sure. That's. I could look at this for 10 more minutes, but I think it's just fun to look at. And that's why I love stuff like it. You know, it's just fun to look at. You know.
Well, that's my inspiration when I was growing up. I loved Mad Magazine, and my favorite artists, Wally Wood, Bill Elder, they'd always have panels with so much going on. You could spend hours looking at all the little hidden treasures in them, and that was an inspiration.
I recognize the guy in the lower right. What movie is he from? The guy with the
That's
unicorn.
Beast from 20,000 Fathoms, I believe. Oh,
yeah,
no,
okay.
guy, which one? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think so. It's one of the better ones. Destroys San Francisco.
Yeah.
And this is my tribute to the New York Club.
Oh, look, man, we love you. That is excellent.
Well, I collect graphics, and this guy cracks me up every time I look at him. A good friend, M.K. Brown, does wonderful cartoons, and this character looked like he stepped right out of one of her cartoons.
A fan mail from some flounder.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's the matter, you?
What's the matter, you? That's right. Oh man. Well,
the mayor of Frostbite Falls here.
Yeah. Well, good. We were all distorted the same way. It's always wonderful to meet the same people at the Institute.
Now, this was done with Deathmaker, and I noticed, I loved it, but there are some things that happen that I don't mind, actually. The bowing out of the caption at the bottom, and the fish seems to be bending backwards a little bit. But for the most part, I think it did a great job.
Yeah, things like that. You know, it's funny how it gets adapted into your use of an image. It's not like it's as if it's a torn negative or something, you know, that you go, those things are fascinating because they don't bother me. It's the same with Joe's work, you know, in the ANAGLYPH jukebox. It adds like its artistic thing, you know, it's fascinating. I don't consider it a negative at all, you know. Yeah.
Well, I gave this guy the New York logo for his.
Oh, yeah, I know, man, I know.
These are wonderful. If anyone's unfamiliar with these are the Poisson d'Avril, April Fool's postcards that were done in France many years ago. They all feature this strange fish icon that's I have no idea where it came from, but
now, did you put the purple in?
No.
Oh, interesting.
This is see, I have to look at the original. No, that's pretty much the original stamp that was on the postcard.
Well, you know, Mark, what Groucho Marx said, I wouldn't belong to any organization that would have a guy like me as a member.
Exactly.
So, I do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Sure.
Please keep sending stuff, and everyone take a lead from Robert. Just it doesn't have to be obviously he's a talented fellow, and he's been doing this a while. Don't let that bother you. If you got a finger in it or something, who cares, man? We love to see your work. We absolutely love to see it. So don't be bashful. Embarrassment doesn't exist. It doesn't. It's in your head. Shame. There's not enough of that going around, but nonetheless. So thank you once again, Rob. I appreciate
sure, my pleasure.
Now I'm going to share one more shot that I have here. Oh yeah. So this is I did this in black and white because I think it worked better, but I did it in both ways. And this is another one of those bends. The March 7th is kind of bending, but now here you're looking at Ivan. This is the guy who I don't know how important Ivan Dreyer's Laserium show was, other than in New York. I think it traveled the world, if I'm not mistaken, or at least it got into major cities. And it is. He started that in 1973, and again, that was the solution that didn't have a problem. And before you know it, people were taking all kinds of solutions when they went to shows. You know, you hardly even needed that. In New York, again, we had him at the Museum of Natural History. I remember this time. It shows you the condition I was in when I went there. But yes, today is here's the color version of that. But yeah, like I said, who cares if there's a little distortion? What a great guy, man. God bless him. He passed away in 2017. But we're all. I might even have some. How are things in the desert over, man? How are things? Oh, look at that! This man, Robert, you're great. Thank you once again. Okay.
You're referring to the desert background there?
Yeah, that's what I saw. You got a friend on your shoulder.
You mentioned wanting a show of Borrego Springs sculptures from Ricardo. That's one of his images. I'll get out of the way here.
I would have thought that was just I would have thought that it was just a something you did in Photoshop. Oh, that's wonderful.
No, that's an actual as is photograph.
What a great place to go.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Well, if I'm ever in the neighborhood, I'll come and bother you.
Okay, please do.
Yeah. I don't know if you'd be happy to see. No, I know you'd be happy to see. I'm happy to see you, and thank you very much again. So we were kind of brief today, which is nice. We made a 30-minute clip, and one day that's going to be important, and I assure you, you're going to love this information we're giving you. So now we have okay. I'm sorry, I'm going through my notes. Yeah. Okay. So we went through all that. Now I got a nice place to edit from. Well, this part of the program has come to an end. Now we change gears and head to the after party where great minds meet. And a big thanks. So I'm going to thank everybody first, and then we're going to hear a word from Uncle D, who should be right behind Mr. Bloomberg. You'll know that. You'll know what Uncle D means. But I'm going to go through this first part of it. Now we change gears and head up to the after party. I'm going to say thank you to everyone. Big thanks to Joe and Paul for pulling through for all of us, because now we had only the three of us working together, and all I do is blab. I press one button. These guys got to keep moving. And of course, even the folks who aren't here, Stereo Doro's out doing volunteer work. Unbelievable. She can't get any nicer. What a nice person. Jim is off in India on visiting and his daughter. But don't try to rob his house. He's got like a pit bull that's like the size of a cow. So I don't want to mention his, but he's this family though. Wonderful fellow. We love his caption this, and we miss it. So I don't think he's going to be able to make it for next week. I think he's flying back in, and that seems unlikely. But anyway, Stereo Doro, Jace Kuznets, who works on that website, and everything you see there is due to him and due to his push and try to making that happen. Now, I am forever indebted to him for doing that. Of course, Jim Harper said Joe Pedotto, who ANAGLYPH Jukebox can't beat it. Paul Hutchins, who is again pushing buttons. Next week we'll have a 3D journey from him. Brilliant, looking at these, touring the world through Paul's calm, nice eyes. I mean, really, you can't ask someone. Well, he has nice eyes. I didn't mean it that way. A little mascara now and then would help, but nonetheless, he's a wonderful fellow. And of course, Herb Weiner, who continues to calm us down and show us new ways of interacting with Hal, as it turns out. And last but not least, you for stopping by to see what you've been missing in 3D. So what we're going to do is we're going to stand by, because at this stage of the game, you need one more reason to send us your content. Fire away. Uncle D, where are you?
The NYSA is looking to discover the next great images in 3D, and we think you have them. Uncle D wants you to send us your best. We'll do the rest.
Ha! So, so in deference to Uncle D, thanks for stopping by to see what you've been missing in 3D. See you again next week. Until then, don't be stingy with your camera, whatever you call it. And most importantly, because you're good people, and you got to spread that word, share your joy and count your blessings. So we got buttons to push. Well, look, I think I've
allowed everyone everyone is now allowed to unmute if they. But you know what?
If you don't mind, I'll start this because I have a few things I want to show off, and this way I can not be as disturbing as later. To show the mischief that my dear friend here who created Laserium managed. This is something we did, I don't know, it's probably about 15 years ago. One of the Batman movies. So this is Lower Manhattan. It's Houston Street, if you know New York at all. And we put a laser on this guy's. It's a laser sitting on his fire escape here. There we go. And we're putting a Batman symbol on that building. Notice there are no windows. Nobody could get hurt. There we go. Got to go backwards, right? That's a little complicated. Oh, right off there. Good thing I'm not pointing the laser now. That would be a little bit of a problem. But yeah, that's the kind of mischief we could create. And we did that for about a week. Now remember, how do we find this place? We rang a doorbell. We got a guy that wanted to make a couple of bucks, and we sat in his basically next to his bedroom and shot the laser out the window. God bless America. Then what do we got? Oh, and more laser stuff. Murray Lerner, our pal Murray with Sea Dreams and everything else. I have a box of stuff from Murray, who they were generous enough to give me, and some of it's laser stuff. This came from someone who was trying to pitch Murray on a 3D laser show, which who knows? You never know. That could happen again. Hint, hint. So what was in here? Some really cool stuff. It was laser group of company, three-dimensional laser holographic and multimedia displays. Who could ever do a 3D laser show? Anyway, these are some nice little graphic things that were in there. They never show up very well. This looks great, man. Was it sideways or something? It's not going to work. I think one of them is with a Kit Kat bar and Mickey Mouse. But this one, let's see if I can get it to. I'll figure that out. I got to figure out a way to do it. Maybe like a bright halogen or something in front of me, and that might work. And here's one you're never going to see, but I'll show you anyway. Take my word for it. It's pretty cool. This is a hologram, an actual hologram, right? Oh, wait. Oh. Oh, there you go. Oh, shit. Excuse me, fellas. I'm sorry for cursing. But there you go. That's a Ringo's drum set. And I assure you, it looks much better in person. I'm the opposite, by the way. But lasers, right? Aren't they fun? What mischief can be created with lasers, So, and today we celebrate a guy who created all of that fun for us over so many years and started really an industry, right? Tonight I'm going to Brooklyn. A bunch of people are showing up to look at lasers. The doors are at 11. These kids stay up late. Lasers, music, and chemistry. Those three things. You can't miss the fun with that. Anyway, I am going to quiet down now, and I'll leave you guys chat. And I'm probably going to come back in around 4. We might want to finish a little early today, unless you guys we have discovered the meaning of life and something. Then I'll give you 5 more minutes. But anyway, like I said before, thank you again for showing up, and thank you for the guys who stick around and do this part too. We appreciate your presence.